In this video, I'm going to show you how I drew this finished male face, starting from a rough construction sketch using a simple grid system to lock in proportions and my face drawing toolkit to refine it step by step.
Let's put in the features. Now this is how you can put in the features in a super fast way. Eyebrows, just slanted lines like that. You want the eyes here, and before you do that, just make a triangle for the nose. Then you know how wide apart you can make your eyes. So there's the nose, and then you just do your slanted triangles for your eyes. Then you find halfway and you go a little bit above that and you put in your flattened triangles for the mouth. You find the opening of the mouth like that, and then you do the chin. Now remember, the bottom of the chin is not going to be as wide as the mouth, just a little less. So there you go. So we're doing really good. We've got pretty much everything in place. Let's do the ears from the top of the eye out, down, and into the bottom of the nose. Top of the eye out, down to the bottom of the nose, like that. Put in the number 5, or whatever other details you like to put in, that's totally fine. Okay, and then if you find halfway, you know that the pupil is going to be just inside. Okay, like if you find halfway from the nose to the outside of the face, that's 50% of the way, and the pupil is going to be actually about 45% of the way. So then you can just go like that. Okay, so now what do we need to do? I'm going to make this male, so I'm going to keep the chin just like it is, though we could chop off a chunk like this, right? Now, put in the cheekbones. Remember, they're lower than the eyes, and they're the widest part of the face, and you can tell that just by feeling your own cheekbones. Top of the skull, we put that in. Put in the back of the skull on each side. And now we can do details on the nose. Okay. Put in the nostrils like that. Put in the bridge of the nose. I couldn't remember that. The bridge of the nose. Okay, then let's put in a pretty solid neck on this dude, like that. Shoulders. And then the hairline. Gonna come out for the sideburns, go over the eyebrow a little bit, come out, and go back in. Come up here for the sideburns, go in, come back out, and go up to the hairline. So there we go. And let's do this. We will give this guy the side part here, one side of the hair, other side of the hair, and then the front here is going to follow the hairline, but we will flip it back up like that. There we go. Okay, so this is kind of like the front of the hair, and he's got it flipped. Maybe we could go like that. Okay, so 3 parts. 1, 2, and then the flip. 3, like that. And you're done. Okay, now it's just a matter of details. So once you've got that, what you can do is you can do the erase. I'm going to use this putty eraser here, and that took us about 6 minutes to do, but I'm going to show you something pretty cool here next. Okay, so from here you can just take your time and do all the details you want. Okay, well, I am finally back to finish this sketch that when did I do it? On the 29th of December. And I was in the middle of doing a bunch of sketches, and the other ones are on video already. And this one I erased it, and I thought, okay, I'll finish it later. And then by the time I was ready to get back to it, I was just too tired to finish it. And then I couldn't find this sheet. And it took me 24 hours of searching through all my many pages and shelves and all the rest of it, but I finally found the original sketch. If I wasn't able to find it, I had made a copy of it and had it on my computer, and I made these 2 photocopies, but I didn't really want to have to show that on this video. I wanted to complete the original drawing. So I finally found the original sketch, and now I am going to finish it. Yay! Alright, so I had done the original sketch, and then I erased it, and now I'm going to try and do a little more refined sketch here. That's the plan. All right, so let's go. Where am I going to start here? I think I'll start with the eyes. I feel if I get the eyes down early, there's not really anything else to have to worry about too much. Everything just seems to fall in place. So that's good. Now I don't like this here. I'm going to curve that down a little more like that. Actually, let's turn this so it works better for my hand. And I just want to make sure that I'm in focus here. Okay, here we go. Now sometimes when I'm just roughing out a drawing for eyes, what I'll do is, if I have my pair of eyes here like this, for the actual iris, I'll just put in 2 lines like that, and then later come in and round out the iris. And that's what I'm going to do right now. You can see that I had just done the 2-line method just to rough it in, but now I'm going to make it a little more round, and I want to thin this eye down a little bit because it's thicker than this eye here. But eyes are oddly uneven in real life. Especially sometimes you'll see the left eye shift way up on a person. I don't know if you've noticed that before, but I certainly do. And sometimes it's frightening when you actually lock into it and see it. It's like, oh my God, that person's eye is up, you know, it looks like 3 feet higher than the right one. It's usually the left eye that lifts unnaturally. Must be some genetic thing. Okay, so now because the top part of the iris is covered, you have to remember to put the pupil closer to the top eyelid. Like so. See how it's closer to the top than the bottom? That's the key thing. Okay, and then we'll put a little highlight in here. Like so. There we go. Okay, so we're winning there. Now let's put in the little crease above the eye. We can put in just a few lashes here. Nothing as heavy as I would do if it was a female. And I can even put a couple up here. Like that. Okay. And now, let's do the bridge of the nose. Now remember, the deepest part of the nose is in line with the top of the eye for most people. Not everybody, but for most people. Which is why I kind of end the nose bridge lines right here at the top of the eye. And I'm going to make the eyebrows kind of thick and not overly delicate. The one thing I have to remember to do is to make the eyebrows come in far enough, because they actually go inside of the eye here a little bit like that. You know, they don't start over here. Sometimes you'll see people's eyebrows end early like this, usually for like red-headed people or something with really light hair, but anyway, this isn't the case for that. So yeah, I'm going to give this guy big full eyebrows like that. and then I'll just shade it in. I'm not going to worry about doing individual eyebrows hairs or whatever. Let's pull that down a bit here. Okay. That's fine. And then let's put in the mouth. Let's do the jaw so I can explain how I place the mouth. So the cheekbone is the widest part of the face. And then where the jaw comes in is usually the opening of the mouth. So, but some people have it come in down a lot lower, but I'm going to do this one. Now, how far in for the chin depends on the style of face you're creating. However, a standard thing is for the jaw, the flat part of the jaw to be just inside the edges of the lips. So if that's the edge of the lip, move in a little bit and then come back out. This is where the opening of the mouth is, so it's going to come up to about here and then go up there. And okay, so as the top lip slants in, it's shaded closer to the opening of the mouth. I'm going to make this line thicker to show the shadow, and then the bottom part of the bottom lip also is in shadow if you're looking straight on. And maybe what I'll do is try to put some shadow on the under the nose here. There we go. Now gonna follow the cheekbone in and show that little hollow that lots of people have. Alright, and I'm gonna make the neck slightly thinner than the full jaw. Just decided that's the way I want to do it. And the neck's gonna come in and the traps will be behind it like that. Make the actual nostrils a little darker. I think I will lightly shade in. Oh, poop. Do you see what I did? I colored right over the highlight that I had taken so much time to. There's the iris, and I want a bit of shading there. And you can barely see the highlight that I tried to put in this one here, so I have to be a little more careful. There we am, and now put in some kind of texture on the iris there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And then the pit of the neck here, these are the collarbones that go up and out to the shoulders, of course. Now, I want to make the bottom of this jaw a little darker to show a shadow area underneath here. Okay, and you can still see the construction lines of the grid that I had there, and I'm going to leave them in just so you can kind of see how I built this thing from scratch. And then let's do the ears. I'm going to kind of do a 4-line ear, 1, 2, 3, and then back up is 4. So let's get this ear also. And then the dragon in the ear. You've heard me talk about that. I don't know what the official name of that thing is, but I call it the dragon in the ear because it kind of looks like this chompy mouth. If you look in your ear, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm really glad that I found the original sheet, because where are those photocopies that I had? Oh, right there. Because I can draw over the photocopies, and I do when I have no other choice or I want to make a point of something, but you can't erase, so this is looking much nicer than if I just had to draw over a photocopy. So the only thing I don't like is right the shape of the nostril here. I'm going to change that on both sides and just make it go out and up a little more like that. That looks betterer to me. Okay, now and on purpose I'm making the jaw go out like that. I see a lot of people that have that little wider jaw thing, and I kind of like it. It looks, well, it makes for a unique face. Not totally unique because millions of people have that, but, and I think this jaw goes up a little bit, so I'm going to let it sink down just a smidgen here. All right, hairline, eyebrows, bottom of nose, bottom of chin. All right, let's do some hair. This cheek is too far out, so I'm just going to pull it in just a little bit. Now I'm going to not put in too much sideburns here, but we'll have the hairline come in as always towards the eyebrow right here, come back out, and to the hairline, which is up here. And then I'll have it come in and then mirror on this side here. And I think what I will do in just a second is do a lot of erasing of that original. Yeah, I kind of got to go in the opposite way here, don't I? So this is going to come up here, go out, come in, go out, and come in like that. There we go. Now, let's do a big erase of the old hair. And this is where, if I had been using the photocopies, I wouldn't be able to change it as much, and that would have made me sad. I don't like having sadness. So, what's the message? Don't lose your sheets. Keep things filed correctly and easily. But when you have thousands of drawings, it's hard to do. And still want to erase this. And also make sure you hold your sheet down when you erase so you don't crinkle your paper. Okay, so okay, a little more structure to it than that, than there was, I meant to say. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? Let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so that was kind of fun to finally get that done. And I think I'll just put a little bit of shading here to show the roundness of the eye on the bottom. And then, yeah, darken this one. We'll turn the page to make the wrist action work easier. Okay, so you can see how going from just the real rough grid drawing, okay, and you can turn it into a really nice sketch, and there you go. The grid system in action.